Daily on Score North and ScoreNorth.com. Purple Daily, presented by Surly Brewing Company.
Happy Sunday, Vikings Vent Line. What's going on, everyone? Declan Goff here, executive producer of Purple Daily, and Mackie and Judd. Yeah, there's a football behind me there. I'm always thinking about football. It's Vikings Vent Line, it's training camp going on. Ready to rock and talk to some great Vikings fans here. Of course, Vikings Vent Line is a year-round program during the Vikings season. We like to bring on Vikings fans to talk to Mackie, Judd, and myself the moment the game ends. And during the off season, I still like to bring on a couple fans each Sunday to talk about the upcoming season. We got training camps fine rolling around here. We're 6 or 7 weeks away from actually the regular season opener against the Green Bay Packers at US Bank Stadium. So plenty to get to. I'm excited to talk to my guys, Ralik and Amari here in just a little bit on Vikings Vent Line. Of course, our show is sponsored by TCL. Enjoy more of what you love with TCL with football season coming up. Make sure you get yourself a TCL television. Your boy just got one, too, to hung up in the bedroom for Vikings Vent Line and Vikings season coming up this year. So get a TCL TV and, of course, Surly Brewing Company. Enjoy more of what you love and enjoy all the things that Surly has to offer with the Surly Furious, the Surly Supremes, the Logic Bomb. There's plenty of options. If you live in the Twin Cities, head on over to Surly Brew Hall. They'll gladly help you out. It's a great little place to enjoy a summer day. Love me some Surly Brewing products. It's the weekend, so hopefully you're enjoying a nice Surly beverage. If you'd like to get in on a future episode of Vikings Vent Line, shoot me an email. It's vikingsventline@gmail.com for the YouTube audience. It's scrolling across the bottom of the screen below you. vikingsventline@gmail.com for the podcast audience. Of course, we're on Apple, Spotify, and scorenorth.com. If you can't hit the subscribe button for Daily Minnesota Vikings Entertainment, this is Purple Daily. We just want to see the Vikings win a Super Bowl before we die. We produce content 7 days a week. 365 days, even 366 on a leap year. So thank you so much to everyone who's been supporting us. Appreciate everyone who has hit the subscribe button. Hit the subscribe button if this is the first time you're discovering Purple Daily and Vikings Vent Line. Let's get my intros out here. Let's get my main guys here. Let's get Rap in here. Let's get my guy Amari in here. What is up, fellas? How we doing?
Hey, we doing good, man. I know I'm doing good. You know what I'm saying, man? Appreciate you having me on, though, for sure. Definitely.
I love it. Amari, how are you? Oh, Amari, I think I lost your microphone.
You're muted.
I think I lost your mic. I'll let you figure that out there. Rap, tell me where you are from and how long you've been a Vikings fan.
Yeah, man. So I'm from Charleston, South Carolina. I've been watching your shows, and you always shout out South Carolina, man. Appreciate you for that too. You always like, man, all them fans down in South Carolina. But yeah, I'm from Charleston. I became a Vikings fan in 1999, just off Randy Moss. You know, Randy Moss being my idol. And just been following the purple ever since, you know? So, yeah, man, it's the squad.
Dude, there's so many Vikings fans down there in Charleston. And, isn't there a Vikings team? My sister got married, actually, in Charleston.
Oh, wow.
And people hung out there like that. There was a Vikings game the next day. We got out of town, unfortunately, before to watch the game. But, a bunch of my cousins and aunts, they all stayed down in Charleston and were able to, watch the Vikings game at a local bar and stuff. So, I'm amazed how many Vikings fans are down there.
Yeah, man, we deep down here for sure. You know, we definitely deep down here, man. A lot of purple, you know, which is weird being how far we are away from Minnesota. But I mean, hey, it works for me. You know, I feel at home, baby, for sure.
I love it. Amari, where are you from, man? And how long have you been a Vikings fan?
Yeah, I'm from Rialto, California. It's like an hour away from LA, but I've been a Vikings fan since 2007. That was the first year I started playing football. That's the year AP got drafted. So, you know, I was a big AP fan, and I've been locked in ever since.
Dude, it's so crazy how many Vikings fans became Vikings fans because of Randy Moss, who Rap just said there, and Amari, you said because of Adrian Peterson. Those were two dynamic players that brought a lot of fans who weren't either familiar with the Vikings or really kind of got stagnant of the Vikings. And those dudes kind of breathed some life into this franchise. And a lot of fans are responsible because of those two dudes, man. Those guys were monsters, and a lot of Vikings fans are thankful to have them.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
I love that.
Definitely.
Dudes, it's training camp. Training camp's rocking. We're finally got football here. Off season is mostly over with. We get to break things down now every day. My guy Judd Zolgad's out at practice breaking things down, but I want to talk to you guys and how you're looking at training camp. So my guy Rap, I'll start with you. What are you most excited for that Vikings training camp is now here?
Man, I'm most excited for Cameron Dantzler, man. You know, I always shout my boy out, man. That's my boy, you know, Cameron Dantzler. And then I also see Mackie, man. He always talking about Thomas Hennigan, man. That's my boy too. You know, he played college not too far from us in Appalachian State. And man, I love Tom, man. I hope he gets a chance, but I'm most excited about Cameron Dantzler, though. Just that cornerback battle, you know, between him and Booth and just seeing who comes out on top, man. But I'm definitely pulling for Cam, though. I want to see my boy do his thing for sure.
Yeah, dude, he had a great rookie year, right? And then got hurt in that Green Bay game in 2020. And then last year was like basically in the doghouse for something. We don't really know what happened there. But
Right.
then once he got back in the field, he really turned into the cornerback he was at this rookie year. And look, the cornerback position, I think, on the Vikings is probably like their weakest and they're most like susceptible to danger basically for 2022, especially when you're playing Aaron Rodgers twice a year and you got Josh Allen on the schedule. So there's going to be some quarterbacks who could be feasting on the Vikings defense, but like I think it's imperative that a dude like Cam Dantzler steps up big time because like someone's got to lock down a number one wide receiver. It's a quarterback driven league, right? And you got to see Cam Dantzler lock things down.
For sure, man. Got to.
Somebody got to do it.
I love and looks like Andrew Booth too, the rookie they drafted from Clemson. Like he's already turned some heads in the first couple days of camp. Like I love Pat P, don't get me wrong, but he's obviously not the player he used to be when he was in Arizona. He's still a serviceable corner, and I actually think he probably means more to that room off the field than maybe he does when he's on it.
Yeah.
But like if Andrew Booth and Cam Dantzler take 2 steps forward, man, like now all of a sudden that cornerback room goes from like susceptible to being super deep and super good and can lock down wide receivers. And that's hard to do in today's NFL because it's such a pass-driven league, man. So if those 2 dudes step up, I really like it. Amari, what about you, man? What are you most excited for with training camp?
And another DB. I'm looking at Andrew Booth. I'm loving what I'm hearing coming out of camp. He got the pick first day, second day. He getting feisty. I love it, man.
Yeah, I heard that.
Yeah, I'm the first preseason game right here in Vegas, so I'm gonna go out. I'm trying to get some eyes on him, give him the DB test.
Yeah,
but yeah, that's all right now.
So you said you played defensive back in high school, Amari? Is that where you played?
Yeah.
Okay. And what do you like most about Andrew Booth's game?
He's just, a scrappy DB. He's going out there on the highlights, backing his back up against receiver, one arm picks, I just love the mentality so far.
Heck yeah. And honestly, Lewis Cine, who I don't know how he gets into the rotation here with Harrison Smith and Cam Bynum, who also played really, really well last year. Yeah. And I think Cam Bynum or Lewis Cine has been playing like with the 2s so far in training camp. Mm-hmm. But, Lewis Cine too, like that guy should be a monster. That dude hit hard at Georgia. Rapp, will go back to you here. What do you think about Lewis Cine in that first round pick the Vikings made this year?
I mean, honestly, like I wasn't happy at first. I'm gonna tell you right now. Like I was streaming the draft live and then I was like, yo, I'm waiting for the pick. And I'm like, I already know we about to get Kyle Hamilton, and I'm like, oh, we trade back with the Lions, and I'm like, damn. But, at the end of the day, once we drafted him, though, and I looked into him, man, I think he's going to be a beast for sure. I like his attitude, very intelligent. You could tell he knows the game. You could tell he studies. So, I mean, I think it's gonna pan out for us for sure, man. I think we'll be happy about the pick as the season progresses,
Dude, that dude's like a heat-seeking missile. Like
yeah,
that guy
for sure, man. He's savage.
He
reminds me of Sean Taylor for sure. Like he's like Sean Taylor-esque for sure.
That's a good one. And like, honestly, he gets to play next to Harrison Smith, learn a lot of things, who honestly is one of the better Viking safeties of all time. And if he gets to learn from him, he's going to be awesome. Mari, what about you, man? What'd you think of the Lewis Cine pick?
Hey, man, same way. When I was watching the draft, I was like, what's going on? and then, yeah, so, but same thing. When I seen it was Lewis Cine, did my research, really like national championship MVP or something like that in the game. Mm-hmm. It's like, and he was playing for Deion Sanders in like high school or something. He got to be a stud. And I'm loving what I'm seeing. But like you said, we got a lot of DBs, so we're going to see how they mix them in there. But I'm happy because it seems like we got a lot of DB depth a little bit now.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some question marks, I feel like, just to see question marks from the standpoint of like what kind of players these guys going to be, right? Like, is Andrew Booth going to step up and be like honestly an immediate starter? How does Lewis Cine fit into the fold? Like, even though the defense obviously took a couple steps backwards last year, and it still might take a little bit for it to be like the top 10 defense it was at the peak of the Mike Zimmer era. There's a lot of like question marks that could be answered immediately with that rookie class, and I'm excited to watch them too, man. I mean, I know we're talking about the offense, we're about to talk about it here in just a little bit. But there's some fun things in that defense that I'm jacked to see, and I hope it pans out. I just hope that defense is back to being something good.
Can I say one thing
about
the DB room? I just feel like it's going to be much better because this pass rush is going to be ridiculous.
Crazy, bro.
It's going to be ridiculous.
Crazy, right?
I'm telling you, too.
Yeah.
Back in Judd, they were saying in like the 2 leading pass rushers in 2019, but besides injuries, those guys. I think we might have top 3 duo in the league, honestly.
Yeah, for sure. I'm with you on that.
If they stay healthy, Daniil and Za'Darius, right? Like to your point, Amari, like that is a tandem that is as good as it gets on the defensive line, and they're like lining up all over the place. They're lining up inside. They're not just like playing their end roll, and with the new system too, like they're gonna be standing up. They're gonna be rushing from all over the place.
Za'Darius
Like
killers.
say a prayer if you're Aaron Rodgers or Justin Fields right now. Like
man.
Those guys are gonna be coming after.
It's definitely gonna be Halloween out there on Sunday. I'm gonna tell you.
I like it.
Sure.
Boys, going to the offensive side of the ball. So obviously Kevin O'Connell's offense here. Justin Jefferson has had 2 unbelievable seasons, and it came out in the first couple days of training camp and said, like, my goal is to be the best wide receiver in the NFL when it's all said and done by the end of this season. So I'll start with you, Raleek. What do you think, man? What do you think about Justin Jefferson going into year 3?
I think he's gonna, right where he left off. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, he has the talent. So there's players you can just tell like they're gonna be good, and we knew that from the time he got put in his first game as a rookie. And you can just tell, man, he's gonna be a phenomenal wide receiver for his career. God willing, as long as he stays healthy, because this football things happen. But if he's healthy and he's out there dressing out on Sundays in the purple, man, he's going to do his thing regardless. You just can't stop him. I don't care who you are. You can try, but he's Justin Jefferson, man. He's going to do his thing, man. For sure.
I love it. Yeah. The Vikings have had so many great receivers. You talk about Randy Moss, who may help make you a fan, obviously. And then, guys like Stephon Diggs, Adam Thielen, now Jefferson. There's so many great wide receivers that have come through here. And I mean, the guy was just a beast his first 2 years. You can make a case one of the best in the league. And I believe him. Like if he continues the pace, like there really is no argument to say he won't be the best receiver.
Who gonna stop him? Yeah, who gonna stop him? That's what you gotta ask yourself. Like nobody.
Amari, what do you think about JJ in year 3, man?
Man, I think another great year, because I tell all my buddies, man, we was a run first offense. He was number 2 in the league in receiving yards. So it's like put him in this system. I think he's gonna go crazy. I seen Patrick Peterson say he might get Triple Crown. Yeah. Who knows? It's a long shot, but it's really possible if you put that talent into the system that we're hearing about. Because offensively, the Rams don't stack up with us. So let's just say that. So if we put him in that Cooper Kupp position, it's gonna be ugly for the league.
You bring up the point that the offense like stacks up with just about anyone, right? Like weapons wise, JJ Thielen, Dalvin Cook, Herb Smith, KJ Osborne had a great second season last year, and he could take even a bigger step forward next year. The weapons are there. I guess, what are your guys' thoughts on Kirk here now getting an offensive coach in Kevin O'Connell? Do you think that there's a next level to Kirk? Raleek, will go back to you. What do you think about Kirk Cousins now with Kevin O'Connell at the helm?
Yeah, man. So going into this season, man, I got more confidence in him than I ever had. I can tell you that. You know what I mean? Like since 2018, I really never had confidence in Kirk Cousins. But now, though, being with the vibes, man, I'm a firm believer in the atmosphere. When you got an atmosphere, a good work atmosphere, it definitely is going to show on the field. And, I look at Kirk and O'Connell as almost friends in a way. And they're going to know it's going to be about business on Sundays, and I can see them coming together and making something happen. So, yes, to answer your question, I do see another level. Now, is he going to be, a top 3 quarterback? Probably not. But, hey, he's going to do his thing, though, for sure. He's going to surprise us this year. I can say that. Yeah,
Mark, what do you think about Kirk with Kevin O'Connell at the helm now?
Man, I'm excited to see it. I'm definitely in, because I like these past 2 seasons, Kirk's been playing good. The first 2 seasons, I was kind of iffy on Kirk, but now that he's in this system and he could let it loose, hopefully, I think it's gonna be great. I think he could do a Matthew Stafford type year, because I think Kirk is right there with him personally. But yeah, that's just my opinion. I think he's gonna do big things, surprise a lot of people.
I feel like it's not like a make or break year, but like if not, if with Kirk, right? Like, is he actually going to do it now? Because like Mike Zimmer was, the run first offense. He wasn't really a big believer in him. And whether you're pro Kirk or anti Kirk, or you have questions, I should say, about Kirk, now with Kevin O'Connell and the weapons that are established, like there's no excuses for him not to be great, right? And not to be unlocked and take the next step. And I think that's what, Mackie, Judd, and myself been trying to say for the last 4 years. It's not necessarily that he's a bad quarterback. It's the fact that there's always these excuses or these lingering things hanging out. Well, now I think those excuses are mostly gone, right? And you have a coach who's leaning into them.
He knows more.
And he's gonna ball. I think he's gonna have a great year too. Kevin O'Connell is coming from the Sean McVay tree, man. I'm all about it. I'm excited to watch him. And hopefully we don't have to bash him a lot this year. So hopefully he takes the next step forward.
You ain't lying about that, man. Hopefully not, because I'm quick too. I'm gonna tell you right now, boy. You better not.
I love it. Boys, before I get into the expectations, a quick shout out to my friends at Brainerd International Raceway. The annual Lucas Oil Nationals are coming to Brainerd International Raceway August 18th to the 21st. You can book your tickets and your camping information at birmn.com here in central Minnesota. It's just a little bit of a drive up from the Twin Cities. birmn.com, Brainerd International Raceway. Dudes, what is your expectations now for the Vikings? I know we talked about a little bit on the rookies and their defense. We just talked about JJ and Kirk. Rico, go back to you. What are your expectations for the Vikings in 2022?
My expectations are for them to win double-digit games, right? So whether that's 10 to 12, that's where I'm predicting, like around 10 to 12, because the schedule favors us, right? Like we got a schedule where we can go out there and win 10 games at least. Like there should be no reason, man. It's been so long that we've had a winning record. It seems like, man, I can't remember when we were 5-2 or 8-3 or something. It's like we're always having to play catch up in the middle of the season. So I'm just hoping that we can cruise into the playoffs, at least get a wild card. We definitely need a wild card spot and maybe win a playoff game. You know, that's all, man. I don't want to put the expectations super high for a first-year coach, but, you know, we definitely going to have at least, you know, high expectations. We at least got to go to playoffs, man. Got to do that, KOC, for sure.
I mean, nine home games, right? 7 road games, 1 neutral site game. Really, you could probably make the case they're really not going to be favored in only like 5 of the games against, like, you know, the Bills and in Green Bay. Right. So there's some tough opponents there. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah,
but they should be favored in the majority of these games, and their schedule lines up with that home, road, and neutral split of. Well, the advantage on the Vikings there. I mean, if they're going to be playing 9 games at home, that's going to make life a hell of a lot easier. Amari, what do you think about what are your expectations, I should say, for the Vikings this season?
Yeah, my expectations is I really think we need to win the NFC North. I think we could do it. So starting off with winning the NFC North, I want to get about, like he said, like 10 to 12 wins. I think is real possible. And besides that, it's just like I like to say I don't want to put it too high, but I feel like talent-wise in the NFL, there's not a lot of teams that could play with us. Even looking at last year with bad coaching, COVID, injuries, no team just beat us, literally beat ourselves all year. So I just feel like they come into this season, we're more talented, better coaching. I feel like we can make some noise for real.
You certainly aren't going to get like all the bounces. Like you brought the point of the Vikings kind of shot themselves in the foot. They beat themselves more than the other team beat them last year. And you're not going to get all those bounces are going to go your way, but just the law of averages, right? Like you think at least if 1 of 2 of those calls or 1 or 2 of those plays goes the Vikings' way, yeah, they're not just like 8-9. They're probably 10-7, and they are in the playoffs. So I agree. I think the floor of them being a 10-win team should be able to get there. I think you should be able to get to 10. Are they going to take that next step and be like a 12 or 13 win team? Like, I guess we have to see how that season plays out. But I think they're good enough to be a 10-win team. They should be able to make the playoffs. You know, Ralik, you brought up the fact, like, you don't want to put too much pressure, too much, like, big expectations on a first-year coach.
Right.
I would say, like, my expectations, as I've voiced on Vent Line and other episodes of Purple Daily, is just, can the offense finally be the top 5 offense it should be? Like, we were just talking about the weapons, and now you have a coach who's leaned into things. Like, can the offense finally get to the glass ceiling where it should be? Like, it's too damn good. Like, they were 14th, I think, in points last year, 11th in 2020. And when you look across the board, the offense, you guys said it geniusly earlier, like, it stacks up with any offense weapons-wise. But now do you have a coach and a quarterback that can take that next step? That's what I want. I want this offense to finally hum and not be, you know, run, punt, basically, which is what they've been doing the last few years.
I think we will, though, man. For sure, man. Trust me. I think we will. It's time, baby. It's time.
It is.
I feel it.
I feel it.
I'm hyping it up this year so much. I'm not even gonna lie, personally, because I feel it.
I feel it too, man.
Like, I ain't been a fan as long as everybody else. You know, I was like in 4th grade when I was in 07, but it's like I've been through it. And it's like this year I've been telling people I feel like we've been on the doorstep since 2017. We've been a coach and a quarterback away.
Yeah.
Let's just hope.
I love it. Fellas, before I wrap up, any last take? Anyone you want to shout out here on Vikings Vent Line before we go? Ralik, I'll go to you.
Yeah, man. First of all, I just want to shout y'all out, man, at Purple Daily, man, for having me on, for sure. You know, not to promote mine, but I started a podcast because of y'all. You know what I'm saying? So y'all are inspiration, man. I much love to you, Phil and Judd, man, y'all the truth, man. I've been watching y'all for about 3 years, man. And every day after work, I tap into y'all. You know what I'm saying? It's like y'all the truth. So that's really who I want to give a shout out to. You know what I mean? Like I want to shout y'all out for sure. You know, letting us and just bringing us all the Vikings content. You know, keeping us updated with the purple. You feel me? Because y'all the go-to spot for sure, man.
Hey, appreciate you, Ralik. Appreciate the kind words. Thank you so much. Mario, what about you, man? Last shout out or anything you want to get off here before we wrap?
I show love to my guys now, you know what I'm saying? You just took the cake, but yeah, man, I appreciate y'all and everything y'all do, because like you said, I turn y'all on. My whole family listen to it now. I just turn it on episodes. Like,
yeah, for sure.
But besides that, man, I want to make a shout out to my boy 909 Juice. He's a whack Charger fan, but he hears my rant every day. I'm talking about to him every day, like, yo, Darius Smith, the Daniel Hunter, come on down. Like, but yeah, man, that's it.
Yeah, for sure.
Boys, I appreciate you. Thank you so much for the kind words. Thank you for supporting. Hey, come on during the Vikings season, all right? Like, get in queue. By all means, we'll be ready to rock the moment the game ends, of course. So, love talking with you guys. Yeah. Thank you for coming on. Enjoy your Sunday. And again, if you're discovering this channel for the first time, hit the subscribe button. This is Purple Daily. We obviously just want to see the Vikings win a Super Bowl before we die.